Welcome to the Friendly Moms Club podcast. I'm Jen.
I'm Karlee. We're the new mom friends you didn't know you needed. Happy Mom Day, Jen.
Happy Mom Day, Karlee.
It is not a beautiful day today, so
No.
I'm not singing.
I know, but it's actually nice that it's not super hot.
Oh, I know, but I just mean more of the aura of our lives is not a beautiful day today.
Yeah, we're not like super...
No, but we're here.
But we are here.
I'm sick. Well, I'm not sick. Well, I don't know. You know when you get sick and you're sick and then you have like the post-sick sickness where you're just like... for weeks. And I don't know about you, but for me, every time I get sick, it turns into a cough and then it's just a whole thing.
I think postpartum has not been friendly for you.
No.
For sicknesses, your body just doesn't know what to do anymore.
No.
I feel like you especially, you just...
I keep getting sick and I don't usually get sick. I literally got sick once in all of nursing school. And that stuff was stressful.
It is stressful. It's a lot of hard work.
Just keep getting sick. And it's annoying because usually Jeff's the one that gets sick and I don't get sick. And now I'm getting sick and he's not getting sick. Although men are annoying when they're sick, so maybe it's for the best.
That is true.
Little subtle cough. I didn't do it into the microphone.
Okay, so today we are going to be talking about the unexpected costs of having a baby.
Those little buggers are pricey.
And it's like, we knew it would be expensive. There's just a lot of things that came up that I was like, wow, I didn't realize how expensive that was going to be or how much that added up. And, you know, there's some things we didn't know that we were going to need. And then there's some things we knew we needed. We just didn't realize how actually expensive that they would be.
And you're like, oh, yeah, like whatever, this much on whatever. And then when it actually, it's like a weekly or a monthly bill and it just keeps coming and coming and coming. And you're like, oh, wow. Yeah. That's a lot of Starbucks.
And I don't think it ever ends. It just changes what you're spending money on. You know what I mean? Like there's always going to be costs. But so this is just what we noticed in this first year, kind of what the unexpected costs that we weren't expecting were.
Especially in the newborn stage.
Yes.
I was like, they're little potatoes. They don't do anything. You don't need anything for them. But there's a lot. Yeah. There is a lot.
Then we're also going to be talking about ways that we found to save money. Like things that we can do that actually helps not cut corners, but it just cut some costs off some of the things. And so we're going to get into that after as well.
And like in our society, like we're stuck in such like a consumerism culture where like our worth is equated with the amount of things we have. Like not everybody thinks that way, but there's a lot, like just society in general.
But social media also is like that.
For sure. Like you have to have like all the nice new fancy baby stuff and you have to have everything. And you use that brand of diapers. And I don't know if anybody thinks that, but like in my head, I'm like worried people think that. Yeah. And when you buy things for baby, even if you buy them new, like they don't stay new. They ruin them. Like you got a brand new car seat that wasn't cheap. And within 2 weeks, she pooped and puked into it. Yeah.
Like it's like a car. Like as soon as you drive it off the lot, it's not the same anymore. And it's the same with all baby stuff. Like it's actually going to get used and abused. Like
for sure.
It's not going to be in perfect condition forever. Like granted, within the first week, maybe it's still going to look nice. But after that, no, like everything.
Yeah. It's like your house. Everything just goes... Yeah. And I also feel like there's such a, like some people have a really difficult relationship with money. For myself, like we didn't grow up like under, like we weren't poor. Like we had food, we had whatever we needed. We went on like small trips, but I was never the friend who like went on these fancy vacations and like had all like the nicest, newest clothes. Like I was a Value Village kid through and through and I hated it. But now I get it. It makes sense. But I have this relationship with money now where it's like equated to my worth. And I feel like a lot of like shame and guilt if especially I can't buy like the newer, nicer things for Henry. So it's been a lot of work, like inner work, working on those things. And I feel like this is a more common sentiment than people actually talk about or people don't even realize they feel that way. But people have a connection to like nice new things, and becoming a mom has been like the final kicker that it's teaching me that like the things I can buy, like they don't make me like a better mom. And it's hard because you want to buy like those nice new things and like it makes you get those warm fuzzies, but really that's not where the love comes from.
And we talked about this in the mental health episode we did, in that when you have a baby, a lot of stuff in the past can come up. And this is one of those things, right? Like how you were brought up, like how you were parented, and then how you want to parent. And then you feel like it's just, all of these things can come into play. So it definitely gets a little bit.
Henry's going to be a Value Village kid. But you know what? Hand-me-downs and thrift stuff is like cool now. And I like it because it's actually better for the environment.
Thrifting is a lot cooler now than it was probably 20, 30 years ago.
And I have to say, I was a fashionable kid. Like my mom is a good secondhand shopper, but there's still that like, that like feeling that like, oh, like I don't get things with tag, you know, there's
There was only a few things that I really wanted to buy brand new, and it was mostly for like cleanliness reasons, like sanitary reasons. You know, like I think I did pretty good of having like low expectations with that everything wasn't going to be brand new and that was okay. But there was just those couple items that I was like, you know what, I would just rather have that new to us and that we're going to be using it for a long time. So like cost per usage is a lot lower. Yeah.
It's like what sorry to cut you off. I said with the stroller, we're going to use it for so long that I wish we just bought it new.
Yeah.
But then there's some things, and like car seats, safety wise, hand-me-downs is are a different thing if you like know who you're getting it from. But like it's actually, I'm pretty sure illegal to, isn't it like not legal to resell? Like for companies, they're not allowed to resell car seats.
Yeah, they're not allowed. Yeah.
So I'm sure marketplace, you're not technically supposed to, but
it is. It's one of those gray areas. So anyways, we also wanted to point out that when you're on mat leave, you also don't realize that you might not be making the same amount of money. So that also will come into play because you don't always budget for that. But if you don't get top up and if you're just going off EI, if you even have benefits, some people don't have any benefits at all. So they're not getting any maternity pay. And so that really is going to affect your budgeting for how much you want to spend on all these things. So just to recognize that comes into play.
How much of an impact a lower like income actually makes. Like you think, oh yes, I'm going to be making less money, but before baby we saved this much, or you know, I can just cut this and this out. But then you don't realize that you're going to cut like XYZ out, but then you're going to add in all of these other things that
also you have unlimited time on your hands. And what do you do when you have time and you're going crazy at home? Well, yes, that. And you also just want to go to the house. You want to go shopping. You want to go just like randomly walk through stores where you're going to buy things. You want to buy coffee. You want to go out for food. Like you want to see your friends. Oh, let's all go do all these things and spend money. Like it's just.
Yeah, it adds up.
You have all of this time, way more time to also spend money. So you're making less money, but you have way more time to spend the money. Like it's just.
Yeah.
It doesn't add up.
You don't have work to keep you distracted.
No, to keep you in line of not spending money.
Exactly. We actually went to like a play gym the other day, just Henry and I, and he's less than one. So he had, I don't know, his fee was like a couple bucks. It was very reasonable. Yeah. But the mom in front of me, her bill was $48. And in my head, I was like, is she having a birthday party? And then I realized it's her and her two kids because they were over the age of 1 and one was over the age of like 3 or whatever it was.
Yep.
And it was $50 to just get into a play gym. And like, sure, a lot of people can just, you know, spend $50, but that's a lot of money to be doing. They were probably there a few hours.
Yeah. And maybe that's the first time that, like, you know, we don't know their circumstances, so we don't know if they do this all the time.
No, but and if they want to and they can, that's fine. But for a lot of people, like, that's just not an option. Okay, so let's talk about things.
Let's dive into some of these costs.
First, these are the things that we knew we had to buy, but we didn't realize how much it actually would add up every single month.
Yes.
So why don't you start with the first one?
So the first one's formula. I guess I just didn't know. I guess I just expected maybe breastfeeding would go easier or that I'd get milk. Like I didn't realize that I was going to have to rely essentially 100% on formula. And so in the beginning, it wasn't so bad because we were still trying to breastfeed and I was still pumping and getting, a very small amount, but she also didn't eat a lot, right? So at the beginning, you don't realize how much formula you actually will need because they're eating so little. But as they start growing and they start eating more and more, we're getting these tubs. We get them on an Amazon subscription because it's the cheapest. But we're spending, I think I budgeted $200 or $250 on formula a month. And that was like the average cost that we were spending. And like it's a lot of money on just the powder. So that's not anything else. That's not any of the other like containers we use to make the formula, make the bottles in, serve the formula in. Like there's all these other things too. That's not the formula that you end up buying. And we talked about this last week, but the baby Brezza, and it is game changer. Like it is so useful. But if you want to buy the one brand new that we got, it was $275.
Whoa.
Like, so I loved it, but we bought off Marketplace for $75, and that I could justify because it does actually impact and change our life for the better. Like it was worth it, and we're gonna be using it for a long time. Like I could justify it, but I couldn't justify $275.
That's fair.
So like there's just all of these things. It
adds up.
We didn't realize, but that's not even. Like a lot of people assume they're just going to breastfeed, but even if you're breastfeeding majority of the time, you still might use some formula. So you still might end up buying some. And it's just an extra little cost in there.
And early on, people often use the ready-to-feed bottles.
Yes.
Which are more so expensive. And then they're only good for, 24 hours?
Once you open it. So yeah, there's a lot of waste.
Yeah.
Oh, formula feeding is a lot of waste. And it's actually very sad and will hurt your whole.
Any bottle feeding.
Hurt your whole. Yeah. It'll hurt your soul a little bit.
It'll put a hole in your soul. literally just hole in your soul. That's kind of what babies do to your wallet. They just burn a hole through it.
Yeah.
And then even if you are breastfeeding, a lot of the times you'll also be pumping. And if you're pumping, there's so many things you have to buy for that. I mean, you don't have to, but like there's the pump. Then there's the flanges, and the flanges that come with the pump usually aren't the size that you need. So then you order the little sizing kit on Amazon.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Why when you buy a pump, like I get it, because then you can resell a pump, but then you have to buy a whole nother kit to just use the pump.
Yeah.
So often when you buy a pump, you don't get everything you need. You have to buy a pump and then other kits and other flanges. Well, usually, so I didn't realize that about pumps.
They come with 24 and 27 millimeter flanges. Yeah. And I saw a lactation consultant post on Instagram the other day that the most common size is actually like 19 or 20, like something.
21 I feel like is also a common one, but
so much smaller. So you have to rebuy a flange that actually fits you properly. And then if you're pumping regularly, you need to have the bra that you can do hands-free with. And then, maybe you want an extra set of pumping stuff, or 3 or 4 sets, so that you don't have to wash it every single time. It adds up. And then bottles. If you're pumping, then you also need bottles. Same with formula. Milk storage bags. Man,
it drying racks for all the stuff that you're cleaning. You have to clean all of these things. So buying like the baby specific soap. We didn't. We just used Dawn
which you don't need.
For everything. But a lot of people will buy like the baby safe soap, the baby brush bottles.
Yeah.
Brush bottles.
She's doing a very specific hand job kind of.
The bottle brushes is actually what I meant to say.
And you know those you're supposed to replace every 3 months?
Oh, I thought it was every like couple weeks. I thought it was less than 3 months.
Either way, or maybe it's every month.
You have to change them because they get a lot of like germs and they just get gross, which makes sense. You don't want to be washing your baby stuff. But then if you're sterilizing,
I put them in the dishwasher.
There's just a whole lot that I just did not. I just thought I'd buy. I didn't think I'd really need to. I don't know why I didn't put enough thought into this beforehand. But
it happens.
And then if you want to rent a pump, so I needed to use a hospital grade one is what I was told to use because I was having issues with my supply. So then I had to rent that, which at least you can rent them because buying the Medela ones like they use in hospital are like
thousands.
Yeah, literally thousands of dollars, but you can rent them for kind of like it's a few $100s in total. I think we ended up spending less than $300 in total for the length that we had it, but it was just another cost that we didn't expect. And just to go along with the feeding topic that we're on, lactation consultants was also, we didn't have coverage at all for it. So we paid out of pocket.
But worth it, but very expensive, like hundreds of dollars.
Totally worth it. They are so great. And if it can work for you and if you can get into a good feeding regime with them and like actually get your supply going and get like it would be totally worth it in the end. Like that investment of money would save you other money elsewhere, but it didn't work for us. So then we spent a lot of money to just essentially spend more money. So it just
spend more.
It was just another cost, and I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all. It was just
you need it like mentally to know that
a lot of money. Yes,
wasn't going to work, or you were going to question it all the time. And we said this in our last episode about baby essentials, that we have this like idea that we have to go and buy everything just in case we need it for baby.
Yes.
But realistically, like most of these things you don't actually need before baby comes.
Yeah.
Especially if you're giving ready to feed formula, you can buy just like the single nipples that just the one-time use ones that go on. You can take some from the hospital. Well, they can give you some. Don't steal them. And then that way, if you do actually end up using that stuff, then you go out and buy it. You order it off Amazon. You get somebody to bring you some, like you borrow some.
You want to get the bare necessities for when baby's actually here. And then if you need these things, then you can get them because depending on where you live, but for the most part, all of us can get access to these things within like 24 to 48 hours. Yeah. Like it's pretty quick to get it from Amazon, a day or two, or you go to the store immediately. But you know, for the most part, if you're geographically fairly anywhere in North America, you are going to have access pretty quick.
That's a good thing, actually, if you're trying to find ways to support a new mom. You can ask, is there anything that you need for baby that I can get at the store for you? Because everyone thinks like, oh, groceries, food, but like, what if you really need, I don't know, a certain kind of bottle?
Bags.
Yeah, storage bags, and adds up.
Yeah. All
right, let's talk about those little bum covers.
Oh, diapers.
Diapies.
I found the biggest source of like cost, like they are an expense, and I knew that going in. But finding ones that I liked that fit her. So then I ended up having a couple different brands, but then I didn't use them all because I didn't like them and they didn't fit well. So then I'd have like partial bags of diapers that I didn't like that I spent money on. So you actually have to kind of like trial and error to find the brands that you're going to like. And every body type is different. So certain brands will work great for some babies of certain body types and others won't.
Yeah.
So
like some you'll have blowouts in. Well, not you, baby. We'll have blowouts in. Some you won't. Like
and some people other like I loved Pampers and she couldn't stand the smell of Pampers. Like everyone is so different, but it worked so well for Jordan and you didn't like them.
No, and he leaked in them, but the smell.
Yeah. So, but everyone is just very individual and you don't know what your baby's going to like or fit in. So don't go get a Hello Bello subscription because you like their advertisement. Because that's what I wanted to do.
I know, me too.
Because I love Kirsten Bell. And I was like, I just want these diapers. And they just didn't work for Jordan. I got the newborn size. Yeah. But you found then Henry, you didn't like them in the beginning, but you liked the stage 1 or 2, right?
Size 2, 3, we use them quite often. And they worked for him. But in the newborn stage, he leaked every single time. Yeah. So I've actually heard that from a few people. So if now you want to try them out and your baby's bigger, give it a whirl. But
just don't go getting subscriptions yet. Wait and see if those diapers work for you before you start going all in on a specific brand.
Definitely.
So don't go and prep and buy 5 boxes of a brand of diapers before baby's here because you don't know if you're even going to like those diapers.
Same with wipes too, because I like the Pampers wipes and not the Huggies wipes, which is funny because I don't like the Pampers diapers.
Yeah, that is weird. And I like the Huggies wipes.
Yeah, I find the Huggies ones too dry.
No?
The Pampers are like wet. I don't know.
Anyways, it's so individual.
Who would have thought that we would be certain teams when it came to diapers?
Yeah.
I also really wanted to cloth diaper, and it's still kind of in like the back of my head.
Not for me.
It was one of those things I just always wanted to do, but just never got around to it. Same with elimination communication, where you just like put them on the toilet.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, oh, like I'll wait till we get in a groove. And then when he started eating solids and apparently like their cues become more like they give you more cues. Yeah. Now he exclusively poops in his high chair. So it's hard. Feed him on the toilet?
No,
Maybe
I don't know.
Try it.
And cloth diapers, depending on the service you want, it can also add up. It can also be a cost because there's the companies that you can get that you do like you have the cloth diapers, but then you leave them and they pick them up and give you new cloth diapers and they do like a switch out.
I think they're like $25 a week, which is probably around probably a little more than you would spend on diapers. But then there's also like,
they're more eco-friendly
but you also don't need to get a service. You can do it yourself.
Yes.
But
we just found we both now go to Costco and we get the Costco size bins and you can wait for them to go on sale and they're normally much better cost per diaper than you're going to find anywhere else.
Definitely. And then don't open the Costco size box until you know they'll be able to go through the whole thing. Oh,
that's another good point. Is that sometimes they'll only go through a partial of the box. You'll open a sleeve and then halfway through be like, oh, now we need to size up. And you have all of the rest of these diapers that you're now not going to use. And unless you're having a second kid and you want to store them in your garage for another couple years, like it's... So then there's all of that too. And then what do? You can't exactly sell an opened bag of diapers, but we're going to talk about that in the money part, saving money part. We'll get into the diapers at the end, but
how to sell open bags of diapers.
Yes.
Kidding. And then the clothes. Oh my goodness. The baby clothes. It's like it goes back to the whole, like my baby has to be in cute outfits. Like I love dressing Henry. It just like brings me so much joy. Yeah. But 90% of the stuff he wears is a hand-me-down.
But he's also one of the cutest dressed babies, and all the other mom friends will say that. So
we were blessed with great hand-me-downs,
and you are killing it.
Yeah, we'll talk about, I'll say it now so I don't forget. But what we did was we got lots of hand-me-downs, went through, picked out the things you liked. And then I got a few things to like round out, to like make outfits with those. So I got like plain shirts or plain pants or like, so then that way all of these hand-me-downs, like it's easy to kind of bring them all together if you buy a couple plain things or like other things just to kind of add in. But most of the clothes he wears is hand-me-downs or it's great.
Thank goodness for family and friends.
Oh my goodness. And random people on Facebook.
Yes.
And then with clothing and shoes, like they grow so fast. You're like, oh, I'm saving this for whenever. And then you go and try it on and you can't even zip it up. Yeah. Or why do they label them? So annoying. So
let's talk about the labeling. This is something we both didn't know until we had babies.
So Carter's specifically, I'm coming for you. Yeah. Just kidding. I love your clothes. But most baby clothes is labeled like 0 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 9, 9, whatever.
Yes.
And so forth. But Carter's has this weird thing for newborn clothes or like little baby clothes that they'll just put 6 months. So people think, oh, that's like 6 to 9 or 6 to 12. No, it's
around
like,
6 months you're going to use it.
Yeah, it's actually 3 to 6. So it's like the top end of the age bracket.
So you can use it months before it actually hits the age on the clothes.
So I don't know why I can't just say 3 to 6 like everything else, because people look at that and they think, oh, like that's a 6 to 12. No, it's a 3 to 6. Yeah. So then by the time they're 6 months old and you pull it out, most babies are past that.
Yeah. Or you'll use it for like a week and then it'll be a waste of money.
So if you have any clothes that has one number, look it up on their website to see what that size actually means.
Most likely going to be the top end. So you want to start using it months before then.
And most babies, Henry aside because he's just a little nugget, but most babies grow out of the age range before they actually age out. Like, so like they'll grow out of 3 to 6 before they're 6 months old.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or like right at 6 months old. And then, they don't actually use it in the 6th month.
Yeah.
It's like the
at
5th to 6th month is when they're growing out of it. Yeah.
And then some babies, if you have a big baby, like some babies our age, or our age, not our age, our baby's age, they're already in like 18 to 24, which is just wild.
Yeah. And then I also wanted to point, this is something I'm now experiencing about daycare, is that now I need duplicates of a lot of stuff. So that is also an expense because she needs like a muddy buddy, say like a rain suit, because they go out twice a day. So regardless of the weather, they take them outside. I mean, special circumstances of like thunder and lightning, but they try to go outside twice a day. That's in their like mandate. So they you put on rainwear and they go outside. So getting that. So then I had to buy that for daycare, which is great, like rain boots and a rain suit. But then I also need to have stuff for at home. Like she also needs rain boots at home because what if we go out and like sun hat? She needs a sun hat for daycare, but a sun hat for home. Anything like that.
Sunscreen and diaper. Like you need doubles of everything.
Yes. So for like clothing and shoes, I realized like, oh crap, I'm going to need multiples of each size. One to leave at daycare and one to have at home. So that was just like, I didn't realize that you actually need 2 of everything once you get to that daycare age.
Definitely. I remember one of my friends giving me hand-me-downs. There was a few things that had like holes and stuff in it. She was like, save it for daycare. And in my head, I was like, I'm not sending him to daycare with holy clothes. And then I realized like, you don't care anymore. You just...
But it's going to get wrecked.
It's play clothes. So it's play clothes, yeah.
Totally.
And like,
they're going to do arts and crafts and like go outside.
I mean, it's not like giant holes, like little like, from the washing machine. So yeah, go for it.
Okay. Rocking chair and nursing furniture.
Nursery.
The nursery. What did I say? Nursery.
I mean, furniture for nursing in, but
okay.
Yeah.
Rocking chairs are so expensive. If you go to any actual baby store, like the cheapest ones you find will like $800 to $1,000. When we looked, the cheapest one we found was $800. It's the one we ended up buying, but we bought it in the States and we got it cheaper. But anyways, they are so expensive, and it's because everything is marketed for babies to be like, they just increase maternity, increase the price, babies increase the price. So we actually found that like we went to IKEA and that's where we got her dresser. So it was only a couple $100, whereas the dressers at West Coast Kids or Active Baby or wherever you're going to go, they were all like $1,000 plus for a dresser. Like it's just
wild.
It's insane.
We bought every single thing in his nursery from Marketplace because I saw some of those prices and I was like, I just can't afford it. His chair, $20 off Marketplace. It's great and I love it. Yeah. And just gave it a little steam clean and it's like new.
Yes. A chair is one of the things I wanted for like cleanliness, but I don't have a steam cleaner. But that was one of the things that I was like, oh, I just prefer this to be brand new because we're going to use it for a long time. Like, we're going to use it every day and it needs to be comfortable. But we also found...
a big one, yeah.
And comfort for you, but then comfort for my husband. And a lot of them weren't meant for, like, bigger guy enough, sizes. Right? Yeah, they're not tall enough. So I was like, we're going to spend $1,000 on a chair you're going to be miserable in? Like, it just... And $1,000 is the cheap end. Like, those are the cheap chairs. Like, it is just... Yeah, definitely look at Marketplace. Steam clean them. Just buy new is ridiculous.
Like, I always creep to people's profiles when I go to buy stuff from them. And I'm
See if he looks like a sanitary house.
Yes, exactly.
That's fair.
And then that definitely plays a role in it. But even like nursery furniture, like a lot of people think, oh, you need like a separate change table and you need this super fancy crib. And you don't really. No. You just,
You make do. You're going to make do with whatever you have. Yeah. And a nursery, my husband also joked, because everyone talks about like, oh, is your nursery ready? Is your nursery ready? Is your nursery ready? And he's like, you don't even use the nursery for months. Like, they're going to be in a bassinet in your room for most people. So he's like, why do people spend so much money getting these things ready and putting so much effort and pressure on it when that's like the least of your priorities when the baby actually comes home? So
definitely,
it's much better to spend your energy and money on the things that you actually need when the baby comes home. So
preparing for baby. Yeah. In the other ways.
Ooh, maternity clothing.
Oh, yeah, that stuff's expensive.
You start.
Yeah. Well, you get pregnant and then all of a sudden nothing fits.
Yep.
So then you have to buy clothes before you get the maternity clothes because like you can't just be wearing like the fancy maternity jeans when you're like 8 weeks. But
there's an awkward stage you go through that you're not quite like showing pregnant. Yeah.
But things don't fit or they're not
comfortable. But things still aren't comfortable, especially when you have to go to work. You want to be comfortable still.
I was going to say Lululemon Align leggings, life-changing.
Yes, the high-waisted
They're
ones.
wonderful. And then you need maternity clothes when you actually get well, you don't. You can buy non-maternity clothes that fit your bump. Yes. But either way, you need, for the most part, at least like a half wardrobe of new clothes.
Yeah.
And then you can't buy a lot of that in stores. You have to order it online, which is also risky. And then after you have a baby, you need clothes to fit in that like immediate postpartum. And like you need comfy PJs that have buttons that are bigger than you would normally, like bigger than that you would wear before you got pregnant. Yep. You need a robe. You need nice slippers. You need these things, okay? But
nursing friendly clothing.
Yeah,
a lot of people. No one buys clothes being like, oh, I wonder if I can nurse in this until you get pregnant. Then you start thinking about it. And you're like, crap, I need actually new shirts, new like pajamas. Like you want a nightgown that you can nurse in the middle of the night. Because if you're going to be nursing a lot, you want something that's easy to just get in and out of. You don't want to be ripping off your clothes at 4 times through the middle of the night. So
I didn't even think about it until after baby came. Like it kind of crossed my mind, but then things that I thought would be easy, I was like, this isn't easy.
Yeah, it's not actually practical. You think like, oh, I could just like stretch this, and it doesn't actually work.
No. And then I found like some people like to do like top down nursing, but I just found like there's like a lot of boob then. And I think if you have smaller boobs, it's very easy just to kind of pop it out. So I like to do like bottom up, but then I always tuck things into my pants. So then, oh man, it's still a struggle.
It's hard. So, I ended up spending way more money on clothes than I ever would have imagined. Yeah. But I also got to the point where I was like, I deserve to also be comfortable because I was so miserable in pregnancy that I was like, no, I actually deserve clothes that I feel okay in because, and I didn't spend a lot. Like I would go to Old Navy and they have a decent maternity selection, but only online. So you have to order it. And if they don't fit, you have to remember to return it. And if you don't, then you're just wasting money. But I would just buy things in bigger sizes at Old Navy too. I'd wait for the like, they have like the cashback stuff and the sales, the super cash. And like, so I would do stuff like that to help with the costs. But a marketplace is actually another good one for maternity clothes because people use it for such few months. Like they're only using it for, 2 months of time, especially the work clothes that are like, work appropriate. People hardly use those and they're in such good condition that I see a lot on Marketplace, and I think that's a really good place to look and to find them.
Definitely. I never even thought of that.
Yeah.
I just like shopping, though. It's a problem.
Yeah.
Oh, and shoes. We didn't talk about shoes.
Oh, shoes. Your feet can change size. Who knew?
Yeah. See, I knew when you were pregnant, they could swell and change size, but I didn't actually realize that it's not just the swelling, that your foot can actually flatten with pregnancy, which then like makes the arch lower and makes your feet actually longer.
Yes.
Like I thought it was like a temporary, like, oh, swollen feet. No. They can actually change in size and not go back. I was having like major toe problems when Henry was like 3-4 months old and I couldn't figure it out. And then I realized all of my shoes were too small.
Yeah, all your runners.
Yeah. And at that point I was doing lots of walking, partly for me, partly for him, keep him sane. Yep. And I realized I needed to buy, like, it was just half a size, but a half size bigger shoe. And it was life changing.
Yeah. It was just something that I had zero idea about. And I was like, holy crap. I bought these Birkenstocks for when I was pregnant because I was like, I can't, like flip-flops were not enough actual support for me. Like I was just miserable. My back hurt. I needed something with a little more. So I'm like, I'm going to actually spend the money and invest in Birkenstocks because it'll give me support. It's middle of summer. It's freaking hot. I need this. I deserve it. I pep talked myself into it. But then now after pregnancy, my feet are also now just different now. So I can't wear them as comfortably now because they like molded to my pregnant feet and now they don't fit the same. And I get blisters if I wear them for too long.
Pillow slides, I tell you.
So I was like, well, I just spent all this money and now they don't fit. Well, I
actually have a pair of pillow slides, life-changing, that I bought before I got pregnant and then didn't fit me when I was pregnant and still don't fit me. I wonder if they would fit you.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Try them later.
We'll report
back. It's a way
back.
to save money.
Yes. They're very comfy.
Yeah.
Next one, healthcare for you and baby. So we live in Canada where healthcare is, I don't want to say free. It's, what's the word? It's,
I don't know what word you're
universal healthcare. Like we pay for it in our taxes.
Yes.
But not free to us, but not actually free. So we don't have to pay for doctor's visits and, the basic healthcare.
Yes.
But a lot of babies require extras like chiro, physio, massage. You might require chiro, physio, massage. And that stuff, if you don't have a good extended benefits plan, gets so expensive.
Yes.
We both had babies that needed tongue ties. And I think it's like, ours were like $500-$600, mostly covered because our babies were on our dental plans. Some people don't have coverage for that. Yeah. And I know if you go to the city of Vancouver, the dentist that does it there, it's like $800. And I'm like, it's a lot of money. But also if your baby needs it, then they need it.
No, you're going to do it. And we already talked about lactation consultants, and some people have that covered and some people don't. Same with chiropractic care. Some people have extended benefits for dependents that can get chiropractic care and some people don't. Some people only have it partial coverage and then you end up paying out of pocket. But they're actually so worthwhile for your baby that it's hard not to pay for it. But it's just an expense that we think is worth it. It just, we didn't prepare for it.
Anticipate it, yeah. But that's a good thing is when you have a baby, add them to your extended benefits plan.
Right away.
Because it can take a couple of weeks for them. Like the coverage should be from their birth, but that way you don't have to pay up front at a lot of places. Some people will do direct billing. So the dentist we went to did direct billing, but he wasn't approved on our benefits plan yet. So we paid out of pocket and then got reimbursed. But we could have skipped that whole step if,
Yeah, same with us.
Same.
Yeah.
Babies are expensive.
Yeah.
All right, car seats.
Oh, car seats. They are just so expensive. But this is the safety thing is that you can't really buy them used. So we were given my sister, so it was actually my niece's bucket seat, and we used that because it wasn't expired yet, and I was comfortable using it because it was my sister's. Yeah. I knew it hadn't been in any accidents. It hasn't been thrown around traveling. Yeah, like she cared for it. I knew that it was cared well for, and it was it was in good shape, and it wasn't in any accidents, which is the big thing about car seats. Is if they have an unknown history, they're marked unsafe. So if you don't know, if you can't guarantee that it wasn't in an accident and it didn't go traveling and thrown around places and
been on airplanes and checked and stuff,
then you don't know if it's safe for your child. And are you willing to put your baby at risk because of that? Like, I feel like car seats is one of those places where you can't cheap out on. Yeah. Like you actually need to buy a safe car seat, and there's different ranges. But I just think it's one of those things that you actually typically have to buy new.
And car seats are one of those things that any car seat being sold in Canada, and I guess any country, if it has like your country stamp on it, meets the minimum safety requirements.
Yes.
So then you can get ones that are actually very reasonable.
Yes.
But then the efficiency of them and they're not, some of them are not as user friendly, but they're
not as easy to install. They take a little bit of time, or they're heavier, so they're not as light and easy to move,
or they're harder to put baby in and out of, and those things. So there's like bells and whistles you can pay more for.
Yes,
there are some safety features that can be added to make them safer, but any car seat being sold legally meets the minimum safety requirements. So you can buy a car seat for like $100-$200, but if it's something, and if that's all you can afford, great. It ticks all of the necessary boxes.
It will be safe for your child.
But if you want one that's like a little easier to install or change the harness height or take the cover off, and they add up so much. And then on top of that, you think you need, a bucket seat and then a convertible seat, or just even go straight to the convertible seat. Yep. But then you don't realize you actually want one. Depending on what you do for pickup and drop off and life, you might want one for every single car. Oh, so that's, I know something you weren't anticipating.
I just had this moment of like, crap, we need to buy another car seat. I don't know why. We only used one car for the longest time. So I thought, great, we only have to buy one. This is, we can buy an expensive one because we're only buying one. And then now we need a second one because I'm back at work, and now we realize, this actually makes more sense to have two. So we can both do pickup, drop offs. What if something happens in the middle of the day and I need to go get her? Like, we need another car seat.
Definitely.
So,
and you actually found it at Costco. It's on my to-do list to go and get it.
Yes.
So, and it's one that's like not a complete entry level, but it's not one of the ones with like all the bells and whistles.
But it's like still a good one.
It's a nice middle where it's
middle ground, good one.
Easy to adjust, easy to install. It's safe.
Has very good reviews from people, like user friendly. Like it's
Yeah.
But it's regular, like over $4.25 or $4.50, and it's on sale at Costco for $2.99. So, but Costco is just unpredictable because you don't know when they're going to have it and for how long they're going to have it. So when you see them, you kind of have to jump on them.
Definitely.
So it's hard to plan for the Costco ones, but when you see them, they are very good deals. So,
and like we said in our last episode, don't buy a car seat full price. It's almost like they're all marked up
because they go on sale.
The like sale price is like the actual price, but they're always marked up. And they go on sale a lot, like 100, 150. Like it's a big one. So that's just something to plan for mentally, that maybe you don't want to go and buy like the fanciest top of the line car seat because you might need more than one. So maybe it's more convenient for you to have two like mid-range ones that you can have one in each car.
Then spend all your money on
one. Or you only have one car and then you get to go bougie if you want. Okay, so that's all of the stuff you kind of know that you need to buy, but you don't realize how much it actually costs when you add it all up. Like either monthly, the cost of like formula, breastfeeding supplies, pumping supplies, diapers, wipes, clothes, shoes. Like, man, it just monthly is a lot.
Yes.
But then there's all of the things that like you don't actually need for baby, but either marketing or the 2 a.m. Amazon scrolling makes you think that you need. So there's like the miracle baby products that will make your baby sleep or eat, and parents will spend a lot of money on anything that
literally anything. If it's gonna make your baby sleep or eat, parents will just be like, buy. It's so easy to buy it because sometimes you're just desperate for a solution, anything to help. And those Amazon purchases will add up.
They do.
To a hefty amount. And you'll forget you even made some of them.
For sure. And then you see people with things like toys or, you know, a wipes warmer or like there's so many little knickknacks and things, and you don't actually need all of them. Some of them, sure, they do make your life easier. And if you want to, go out and buy them. But a lot of the things you don't actually need. But
like the snoo. The snoo is a good example. And I go back and forth with like, you can rent them. So like, do we want to rent one for this next baby for a couple? Because some people swear by it to make your baby sleep. And our first baby hasn't been the best sleeper. So I'm like, is it worth it? But to buy a snoo, it's like $1,500, I think, brand new.
Yeah.
And so, whereas other bassinets, you can get off Marketplace, really good bassinets for like $50, $100.
Yeah.
Like that is a huge discrepancy in cost.
I mean, you can put your baby in a cardboard box. Like actually that is a safe sleep space. If you don't like, obviously.
It's not breathable, but yes.
No, but it is considered a safe sleep. A drawer, cardboard box. It's considered a safe sleep space. Yeah.
Yeah. I like the breathable mattress.
Yeah. Fair. Very fair. Yeah. But I'm just saying that like in a pinch, like you don't need a $2,000 bassinet.
It's just crazy to me. Okay. But when you want your baby to sleep, people want to spend that much money. Like it's just easy to spend it when you're like, my baby will sleep. This will be worth it. It just.
And anything. The things that claim, oh, this is going to make your baby sleep through the night, or there's no miracle product to make your baby sleep, but at 2 a.m., that ad is going to get you, and you're going to order it, and it's wild.
I think another one that you don't necessarily need, and we had this in the other section, but I think this falls more under that you don't need to spend money on, but a lot of people do because I think society makes you think you have to, are all of the photo shoots. So getting it when you're pregnant, getting it when the baby's first here, then doing family shoots later on, then doing the first birthday, the cake smash, or like first birthday photos with the family. Like if you have the money and you want to spend it on it, that is great. And I just think that it's actually a lot of money.
It's
like,
so much money.
Photo shoots are hundreds, if not over $500 to get a photo shoot done. And if you're going to do that many, it's a huge cost. But I think society makes us feel like we have to get those photo shoots done to be a good parent. And that is just
not true.
Stupid. That's just, it does not actually doesn't change your ability to be a good parent based on if you're getting these professional photos done. Definitely. Like you are going to take photos and you're going to make memories and you're going to have these memories, but like you don't need to spend thousands on getting professional photos done. If you can't afford it, totally fine. If you want to, again, all the power to you, but it's just one of those things that you don't have to spend money on because it's a huge expense.
And even if you can afford it but don't want to, like you don't have to. We didn't do a newborn photo shoot because I kind of was like, I don't know, I was indifferent about it. We did a maternity photo shoot and I kept thinking maybe if we have a second baby, then I'll do a newborn shoot because then both kids can be in it. I don't know. For some reason, I just didn't feel like this drive to get it done.
I know, but you have so many cute photos of
so many.
Henry.
Oh my gosh, I have excessive amounts of photos.
I mean, we did get it done. We got maternity and we got newborn, and I love them. Like, I don't regret doing it. We'll probably do it with the next baby, but it is a lot of money, and we don't ever want to make you feel like you have to do that to be a good parent because it's not necessary. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk mom hacks. Oops.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what we found to save money. So the first ones that I did was I created a list. So when I was pregnant, I a list of all the things that I actually thought I wanted brand new. And then I just waited for everything to go on sale because inevitably everything is going to go on sale, especially if you give yourself like a good 5 or 6 months before baby's here. When you made this list, you will find literally everything on. So I didn't pay full price for any item that we bought because I'm also Dutch. I'm very into deals. So you don't need that. And there's these apps now. There's one called Flip that you can actually get, and it'll look through for sales, and you can have keyword searches. So you can do that and just look and see when things go on sale and get alerted, and then you can buy it at a sale price.
Definitely. It's a good one for car seats for sure.
Totally.
Keep your eye out. Strollers, big items. They all go on sale at some point.
Literally all of them.
And another one is if you sign up for a baby registry, you can sign up for one with a completion discount.
Yeah.
So Amazon does it. I know like Indigo and all this like big companies, Bye Bye Baby did it, but they went out of business.
Yes. They did have a good one though.
They did have a good one. So a lot of places will offer like 15-20% off on items that aren't purchased by your baby's due date or whatever. I don't know what the actual fine print is, but that's a good way to actually get like a hefty discount.
Yeah, so even if you don't think your friends or family are going to buy it for you, but you know you want it for when baby's here, just put it on your registry. And then once that's done, then you at least get the discount.
See what happens.
Yeah.
Sharing. Yeah, sharing with friends. Like, you at first when you have a baby, you're like, oh, I want everything new. We've talked about this. And then baby comes here and you're like, that's silly. I'm over that. I mean, maybe you're not over it, but asking friends to share things with you, either like doing like toy rotations or being like, hey, I want this pack of, I don't know, soothers, but there's 6 of them. Anybody want to split it with me? We do that a lot with our friends.
Yeah. Or a lot of people bought soothers and were like, oh, my baby doesn't even like it. Like I have a pack of them that have basically never been used, and be like, oh, I have this one. Do you want to trade? And then you can try these soothers. I'll try these. Definitely. So people were trading items, or like water bottles, sippy cups. We traded bottles, feeding bottles, like because Henry actually liked the wide neck ones and Jordan wouldn't drink from them. So then Karlee could use them for Henry. Like, there's lots of things that if you have a group of mom friends, you can actually just share, and
definitely
you feel safe about where it's coming from. It can help save money, and it's just, it's easier also.
Yeah. And then on that same note, if you don't have a lot of local mom friends, there's so many Buy Nothing Facebook groups for local communities that are specifically for mom and baby stuff. Yeah. So there's a really great one in Vancouver. It's called Mamas for Mamas. They're like a really wonderful organization, but then they have their little groups, and they're all like city specific. So look it up for your location, and it's a completely Buy Nothing group for swapping, lending, or just like donating, giving away.
And really good items go up there. Like, very good, in good condition, expensive items people will give away.
It's also a really good way to like declutter your baby stuff without just dropping it off at a thrift store or throwing it out. I'm sure some people do that. Yeah. And people, for the most part, are very good about pickup. So I was going through Henry's 12 to 18 baby clothes, and there was a couple sleep sacks in there that are like the really nice thick winter, like 2.5 tog ones. We won't need them because we have the Walino, and that one is for all year. And I looked up these sleep sacks to see, like I wanted to see the actual tog of them because they weren't labeled, and they were both like $80 sleep sacks, which is wild because they were just random hand-me-downs. And so I posted it on Mamas for Mamas, and somebody's already come and picked it up.
Yeah, it's crazy. And this is where I was going to mention diapers. I'm glad you brought this up, because a lot of people will swap diapers. So like, I opened this Pampers box size 1 and I just really don't like them. Does anyone have a different brand that they want to swap? Or I actually need to go to size 2, not size 1. Does anyone want to swap? Or you can give away the partial bags, and at least someone can then use it, and it's not a waste of something that you bought, because that always hurts me when I'm like,
for sure,
is no one going to use this? Someone needs to use this. And people can really use it, right? Like there's a lot of moms that are in hard places right now that can actually really use that help. And so, it's a good place.
Maybe Facebook groups. Post stuff for free, and then when you need something, you go on and you get it for free. I've tried to make it a habit,
right?
That anytime I need something that I'd be okay with getting secondhand, I try to post in this group to see if somebody has it. And then I do the same, like in return. If there's something I don't need, I just post it. And
or you end up hand-me-downs you get a couple of, and you're like, okay, this is the one we're using. I can give this other one. Like, it was a hand-me-down to me. Like, I want to pass it along for someone else to be able to use.
For sure.
The London Drugs baby box. So I didn't know this, but we actually went, like, I don't know, it was day 2 or 3 of being home with baby. And of course we were like, oh, we actually need to get a pump and we need to do this. And we went, and the teller at London Drugs was like, oh, do you know that we have a baby box? I'm like, I don't know what this is. She's like, oh, it's just this box that we give all brand new parents that come into our store. And it has just coupons and free samples inside of it.
Nice.
So the one coupon that made the biggest difference is there was actually a coupon. So if you were renting their hospital grade pump, which I was, you got $50 off. And I was like, $50 is a great discount. Yeah. And it was just, this lady was so nice and just was like, clearly you have a newborn, you're buying all these things. Like, we have this box, it just has all these random coupons and samples. And
wonderful.
It's just a free thing that you can go get. So
you can also register online for most diaper companies and formula companies. You can register for freebies. So I think in Canada, you can't actually get free formula. There's some law about that, but because there's like weird laws about marketing formula, but you can sign up and get coupons for them. So when I was pregnant, I signed up for all of them, and I ended up getting like an excessive amount of coupons. Like, I think one of them sent coupons that were like $100, like $10 off one. So I ended up giving them to the Mamas for Mamas group, and somebody picked them up like literally within an hour.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Because it adds up. As we said, this adds up. So if you can get $10 off, like that is
a lot. And you can also sign up for free diapers, the newborn ones from Pampers, Huggies, I'm sure other ones. And then that way you can try them out. And they send you like a 10-pack, like a decent amount, wipes and diapers. And then you can try them and see if they actually work for your baby.
Before you invest in huge boxes, Costco-sized boxes of them.
And they send you the fancy ones, like the special delivery ones with the little cutout for the umbilical cord. Those ones are pricey. Yeah. They're fancy. Another one, we kind of talked about this before, but if you can buy something within one day, you don't need to buy it before baby comes. So unless it's like a safety thing that you need, diapers, clothing, a safe sleep space, you don't need to buy it before baby comes. So just hold off.
See what you actually need and what's actually going to make your life easier and what's worth the money for you and what's not, because it's different for everyone. So don't listen to your friends that tell you need all these things. Like see what you actually need for you and your family and your lifestyle, because it could be different.
And like for your space, like you have to store all this crap.
Yes.
It's a lot.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a whole other thing. Consignment stores. So there's actually a lot of them. There's one in our area called Once Upon a Child, and it's really well. It's really well run. It's actually organized and labeled, and it's kind of like a winner's idea that sometimes you have to really like pick through and take some time to go there. But they're so good. You can get like onesies and stuff for $1.50 or $2, and they're in really good condition. But they have toys, shoes, clothes. They have bassinets and like play
games and stuff.
They just have everything there, and so they have them in lots of different areas. And something that we were told that we actually were like, oh, this actually makes sense, is that if you go in actually affluent areas, so some of the like nicer neighborhoods, if there's a store near there, you just sometimes find really expensive kids' clothes at a very good price, and like really good items that were expensive at one point that you can get for really good deals.
One of the local like Instagram mom, she's like quite a following, but she always posted about that she would go to a specific Once Upon a Child because of the like demographic of the people that live there. Like,
so the clothing were just like higher brands and stuff.
Higher end and better quality. But the consignment stores are different from the thrift stores in that they don't just take any donation. They like, it's all very thoughtful. They only take things in good condition.
Yes.
Certain brands, some of them, which I'm kind of like, like whatever. But so like, when you're going there, you're looking at good quality stuff.
Yes. It's like sorted through and nothing has holes and nothing is like, everything's in good condition.
Matching and which is nice. You can also bring stuff to them. And I hear you don't get very much, but if it's stuff you were just going to donate anyways, even if you get $10, like you might get 5 sleepers for that.
Yeah, totally.
They're also really great for festive, like themed stuff.
Oh yeah. And they put them in, they actually like pull it all out. Yes.
I went there last year and got Henry a bunch of Christmas onesies or sleepers, and it was great because they were like, I don't know, I think they maybe were a little more, like $3 or $4, but that's literally nothing compared to what you buy them on.
I was just at Old Navy looking at Halloween ones that were like $20 or $25. I'm like,
cart is
for
full.
Her to wear on one day, like $25. Like just,
I know.
It's like, I don't think we need this that much.
No, but they have some really cute ones.
So $3 or $4 is.
Yeah, they probably have that same Old Navy one.
I know.
There.
I know. I didn't buy it. It was just.
Yeah, so we've been through all of them. Buying in bulk, signing up for the freebies, the subscriptions. You'd be surprised at the freebie things that you can sign up for. Yes. Actually, we'll put it in the show notes. There is a site, I'm going to have to go back and find it, that you sign up for one time. You put your email address in, and it signs you up for all the free baby stuff that's out there. I think you go through and like tick what types of things you would want. But now I'm just having a distant memory come up that I did that. And because I remember getting stuff in the mail, and I'm like, I didn't sign up for this, but it was from that company. So I'm going to find it, and I'm going to put it in the show notes. But yeah, we went through all of our little hacks there. In conclusion, babies are expensive. And then we make them more expensive by buying them so many things they don't actually need.
Yes.
And spending that money on baby stuff or postpartum stuff is not actually, for the most part, going to make your postpartum easier. Some of the things, yes, but like having the nicest, newest, fanciest swing isn't going to make your baby easier or your experience easier. Most of the time, they don't even like the expensive swings. They want the like freebies.
And it's easy to be persuaded by social media to have to buy all these things and need to buy the most expensive, the nicest, the fanciest, newest ones, but it's really not necessary. No. And we would just highly encourage not to buy things at 2 a.m. on Amazon because you end up buying so many things that you don't actually need that just sound good when you're desperate and not sleeping and
angry.
So wait, if you still think the next day that you want it, you wake up and you're like, oh, I remembered I saw this. I really want this. then buy it. But it's almost like the 24-hour rule. Like you think of something and just wait, just give it 24 hours. And if you still think it's that important that you need it, then you can go out and buy it. But it just will help kind of have a check and balance in place so you don't just spend money aimlessly on every other item.
You wait those 24 hours. And then when we were planning for this episode, we were talking about how people spend so much money on baby stuff, but people rarely spend money on things that will help them, like help their experience postpartum,
like actually for the mom,
for themselves.
Yes.
And we kind of brainstormed some things that, like, if we could go back, these are things that we would maybe spend more money on.
Yeah.
So things like hiring a doula for either labor or postpartum, doing more birth prep classes or breastfeeding support, like lactation consultants, hiring things like a night nurse or a night doula to help you, give you hands-on help with baby, house cleaning. I wish that we took some of that money of the baby stuff that we bought and got a house cleaner, like even just once or twice postpartum, to do those like nooks and crannies that you don't want to be doing either when you're pregnant or freshly postpartum. And not that a clean house matters, but like I like having a clean house, and I wish
sometimes helps your stress level.
Yeah, I wish somebody came in and cleaned my baseboards. And then another one is like meal delivery or like the
meal prep services,
services,
HelloFresh and stuff like that too. Yeah,
that stuff's invaluable. Those are just things to consider. We'll find it. There was an Instagram post. I think it was the boob school that you were talking about, that they were saying that people spend so much money on baby stuff or whatever, but people rarely spend money on breastfeeding prep. And if that's something they actually really, it's important to them, most of the time, you're not just going to have a baby and just breastfeeding just happens. So that is a good area to invest your money in, because then maybe you can
save money, but then maybe you can save money on all the other stuff. So spending $50 on a course when you're pregnant and like doing that might save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars when your baby's actually here. So there might be different places that might be worth investing your money in. So it's just good to look at those things and see what's out there.
Consider it. Yeah. For sure. All right. Blah, blah, blah. Mom Day mantra.
Okay. You want me to go?
Yeah, I want you to do it today.
Your baby's love is not measured by what you buy them. It's how you make them feel.
Love it. The feel goods.
So if you buy them every toy, it's not going to make you the best mom. It's not going to make you love them more. No. It's about how you actually make them feel. And we were talking, it's like the Maya Angelou quote. Yeah. I can't speak today. But it's not what has
it's that people aren't going to remember what you said to them. It's how you made them feel. Yes. Something along those lines. But that's true. Babies, you're not going to grow up and have this like amazing bond with them and a perfect attachment just because you bought them all of this stuff. It's
actually spending time with them, and having their back and being there for them and helping them when they're sick. Like, it's not buying them every toy that they've ever wanted. Like, they're not actually going to remember
it's the hard stuff.
It's the hard stuff. That's going to make the difference.
I wish I could just buy them every toy and
buy their love.
He loves me, although they love us anyways. Yeah. But yeah, that's
thanks for joining us today. We hope you learned something or it was helpful.
Babies are expensive. Take that tip. Put it in your pocket.
Especially before you have baby number 2, like maybe do some budgeting. It's just my advice, because that's a whole other expense when you add another one in there.
I mean, even the first.
I know.
It's a lot. Anyways, follow us on Instagram. We would love it. We're at the Friendly Moms Club. If you're watching this on YouTube, we would love it if you subscribe to our channel. Give us that thumbs up. And if you're listening to this on podcast, maybe leave us a little review. Yeah, that'd be lovely. Help other mamas find us.
Yeah. Well, happy Mom Day. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye now.
Bye.